So this is the pound yen analysis for Monday the 12th of February. Now, let's have a look what I've been pricing, where prices may likely go. So first we'll drag the chart over a bit here. And as we were saying from our last video, we were looking for prices to come down towards this. If we did break below this 49.78, we're looking for prices to head down towards that 49.10. We did come down to 49.10. We did actually trade below 49.10. Let's just see where our lows were. Our lows were pretty much down to 48.90, 88. So it's pretty much 20 or so pips below the 49.10, from which we did see the buy side momentum come into the market as indicated by these wicks. Move back above this 49.78 for a test of the 50.56. Overall, on the high time frames, we are in a slight uptrend on the pound yen, but more recently we've come back quite a bit. As we can see, we've came down towards this 52.85. We're in a bit of a trading range around between the 51.25. In a trading range, broke out to the upside briefly, tested the 400 period moving average, saw the sell side momentum come back down to the lower end of the trading range, brief move upwards for pretty close to another test of the 52.85, from which we saw the sell side momentum break below the 51.25. And again, we've seen the prices come down towards this 49.10. So if we continue to maintain our, we've come up towards this 50.56. So if we can see the pullback, we're looking at a break of 50.56. We're looking for price head up towards our 51.25. Previously acted as support, may potentially be resistance. Seeing sell side momentum come down to 49.78, possibly down to 49.10. Below which you're looking for price head down towards our 48.46. Is it? Yeah, 48.46. To the downside, if we do see further sell side momentum coming to the market, we're looking for price head down towards our 48.46. Now, if we do see the upside continuation, see a continued recovery of the pound against the yen. So if we do break above these 50.56, and we do hold, we're looking for price head up to 51.25. Again, we mentioned it could potentially be resistance, a move beyond which we're looking for 52. Beyond there, 52.85, which proved a significant level in 2017, and a break from there. We're looking to see how the highs of how prices react to the highs of 2017 around 53.41. Now up at 53.41, we do have the added confluence of the 200 period moving average, as well as the 400 period moving average not being very far away. So we could head up to, if we do break above 52.85, we could potentially see sell side momentum come into the market off the dynamic level of the 200 period moving average, as well as the horizontal level of the highs of 2017. So we could potentially see some sell side momentum taking us back down to 51.25, or possibly down to 50.56, or depending on market volatility, 49.78. And with that said, that pretty much wraps up the pound yen analysis here on the hourly time frame. So we head over to the monthly, weekly, and then the daily. So we head over to the monthly first. Get the scale on here correct. And wow. Just wow. So we have seen the continued recovery on the pound against the yen. We found our lows here. Had a brief pullback, upside continuation. Had prices somewhat stalling a little bit here, with these smaller candles, possibly indicating there might have been something important. But we can see here with this large bearish candle, we're in fact trading below the low of the previous month. It's the most significant bearish candle we've had in quite a while. So we'll see how this candle continues to play out. Overall, though, we're in a slight recovery from our. We had this move upwards here. Had more recently, I had a sell off into 2017, was it? We had a sell off, and we are seeing this continued recovery. So we'll see whether we do get a bit of a pullback before seeing further upside continuation, posting a low, higher low for further upside continuation, possibly looking for price head towards that 160, after which we're looking to see how prices react to the possibly this 200 period moving average here on the monthly time frame. So let's just head down to the weekly chart. And on this weekly chart, we have seen that continued recovery punctuated by pullbacks here and there. So we've got our lows, had a pullback for a long period, because these are weekly candles. For a long period, had a slight move downwards, had a brief move upwards, a slight pullback again. More recently, however, after having this very large candle, We've not had a significant pullback of note. We've had a brief pullback. Some of prices slowly heading upwards before we've seen this very strong bearish candle, which is pretty much an engulfing candle here on this weekly time frame. Pretty large candle to the downside. So we'll see whether we do get a retracement before we see further downside momentum. But we are still operating in the shadow of, not so much the shadow, but of this very large bullish candle here. So we'll see how far our retracement comes, whether it does come down into this low just here. Where was this low? In around that 46 level. It would be a pretty deep retracement to head down towards that 146 before we see potentially upside momentum taking us up to that 160.11, possibly up to where we've got the 200 period moving average here on the weekly time frame. Let's just head over to the daily chart and see where we are. So before we finish here on the weekly, we are actually trading below the 20 period moving average. We've actually come into the 400 period moving average. So we're currently trading in and around the 400 period moving average. The 400 period moving average is let's just see where it is. The 400 period moving average currently sitting at 149.80. Wow, 149.88, and that was where we turned around, wasn't it? Was it? No, it wasn't. We turned around at one. Let's just have a quick look. I'm just trying to. 148.88. That's what it is. 148.88. We've got the 400 period moving average sitting at 149.88. So we'll see how price is reacting around there, whether we do find dynamic support at the 400 period moving average here on the weekly time frame. Now, if we head over to the daily time frame, so over to the daily time frame, and what we can see here is we've had the move upwards, had a brief pullback, consolidation. We've had the move upwards, pretty much putting in a bit of a double top here. We're pretty much putting a bit of a double top, bearish pin bar, very strong bearish candle here, very strong bearish candle. We were trading below the low, and we've got this very large candle here with wicks to the upside and the downside, possibly another news related candle. This candle also with a very large wick. So moves to the upside have been sold. So these rallies have been sold, suggesting there is a degree of bearish momentum hovering over this market. Some dark clouds above this market in terms of, if you're a bull, there does appear to be some bearish sell side momentum of note in this market. So we could see that deeper retracement all the way down to that 147.35 or possibly down to that 146, where before we potentially see buy side momentum come into the market. Now, in around that 147.35, we've got the added confluence of the 200 period moving average here, thus increasing the likelihood of a potential bounce. But we are seeing quite a bit of a sell side momentum come into this market, and moves up have been sold. So, with that said, that pretty much wraps up the pound yen analysis. Overall, we were in an uptrend, but we do seem to be having a bit of a pullback now. Possibly not a change in trend, but we might see a deeper retracement than we have more recently. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the pound yen analysis. Thanks for watching.